now.
Very good. So, greetings, everybody. Hello from Virginia. We have a very cold, wintry day during the spring. This happens sometimes, but the flowers are still here and it's sunny. So, we like that. And we have a flower. Speaking of flowers, we have a beautiful flower sitting right next to me on Zoom here, Linda Ragsdale, very dear friend who came here on retreats before, but she was very close to my daughter Naomi. And they spent their last moments together, their last days together. And Linda has created something really beautiful out of that experience, which has brought light and love and hearts and inspiration to adults and children all over the world. But I would like for Linda to tell you the story of how the Peace Dragon was born. And Linda is a master teacher, and she would like to share a story with us and draw with us. So we have a very fun, special video today, different than all of the others that we've ever done. So Linda, we'll hand it over to you.
Well, thank you. And I think it's fun to show all the different avenues that we can find our peace, that we can discover more about ourselves, that there's not just one path, there are many paths.
Right.
And so hopefully this session will open up some ideas on how to travel differently through some of the challenges that face us.
Beautiful.
One of the challenges, of course, was living through the attacks, losing two people at our table, of course, directly related to you, and having Naomi be, my daughter, who's the same age as yours, here with me there, right? And so we shared things together. We shared pool time. I grew up in a pool, and Naomi and I had started to make plans for our free day together, and we had spent that whole afternoon drawing, and we had found the love of Mendi, right? And all of the gorgeous Mendi that was on all the hands of the women, because it was wedding season in India at that time, and just the extemporaneous art that was drawn by these incredible artists that portrayed and has such deep meaning. So we had found the case, and we're going to, part of our list was she wanted to have this tattoo done. So we were drawing roses, and we were, doing dark and light together. And, when I think about the drawings that we were doing, and she asked me to teach her how to draw lightning, and then she asked the ultimate question that became, such a gift to my life, which she asked me to teach her how to draw a dragon. And in the timing and the place, I said, you know what, let's put that on our list for Friday. And we never got to that list. Right? We make these plans with an understanding that tomorrow will come, and we forget to fully invest sometimes in our todays. And we cannot have regrets of that, but we have to learn how to really live in the now and in the moment. And this gift from Naomi offered such a beautiful mascot to take out into this world.
Yeah.
The dragon as a whole is illusionary, right? So is it real and not? And in ourselves, we as human beings are very dragon-like because we have this fire.
Yeah.
We stoke that fire to keep our passion going.
Yeah.
But when we let that passion, or that become so much, then we become the beast that, in Cindy, in Cindy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the word raises, right?
Incinerates
the whole thing. Incinerates the whole landscape. And then we have the problem of building back a ground that we can both walk on together to create resolution. But we also then have created a greater distance between that which we've done, We've created more layers through it. So the dragon, is such a gift to becoming a standard for peace. And in my heart, our first conversations were, I wanted to honor that last request from her. I didn't get to do it felt that the mission was, how do we bring this idea? How do I honor her light, honor this drawing of the dragon? And it had, like I said, it had so many unknown layers. And even today, I still find the layers that are peeling back on the gift of
Wow.
this, you know, this emblem, this symbol, this ability. But when we draw peace dragons, we draw them with empty hands. And the dual purpose of that is, right, we need you to look out in the world. Kids know what they see out in the world. Adults know when they're drawing dragons too. They know what the world needs. When you and I went back to India, we drew, remember, with the college students, and they know exactly what they see the world needs. But that exterior observation is what we see we need. The other part of that is looking inside and looking at the gifts that you hold, and perhaps your dragon will bring that gift to the world. So what we do is we look at the external and the internal, because when I teach peace, we understand that we start with the internal.
Right.
That we hold our peace, because then everything that goes on around us, the chaos, does not affect us.
Right.
We're holding this, and those energies, those forces that come into our lives can be handled when our heart is solidly in place and our fire is burning passionately for love, not for incinerating the land.
Exactly.
So the gift of her request has just created, like you said, this worldwide adventure. And I stopped counting after 75,000 students, because we just, right, the idea was that this was out there and these dragons were out there, and we have people in India still every year drawing dragons and sending me dragons,
beautiful.
And so this dragon has now taken flight, and it takes flight in so many different ways. And one of the ways was books, right? My whole goal, even when I was prior to going to India, my whole question to MC was, how do we bring this to children, right? How do we bring this idea of creating these peace places within our children so that they can teach them? Because when we were there, mostly everyone is coming from a place where they have literally are scarred from these events in their lives. So how do we find that? And I came because of my health, right? I needed to find a way, and meditation had allowed me to get off of most of, because I'd been treated for 5 years for lupus, then 5 years for MS, and then 5 years for fibromyalgia. And when I went on the retreat, I actually had stopped all of that and allowed my body to take on some of its own healing properties and doing it. So giving my body, myself, my spirit, that healing power.
Wow.
So yeah, right. It becomes this wonderful way of how we can now understand some of the paths that we've been directed on, whether they're consciously or unconsciously, but finding this space. So I need to help create kids. But one of the things that I've always thought, right, is I'm going to teach a kid how to hold peace, because then that child is going to go home and say, that's not the way we do it in school.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Right? So I'm going to teach the readers who are teaching the children, and the children are going to teach the adults and offer a new way to see. And so, the idea, everything starts with the heart, and it's honoring within so that you can hold your balance from outside. So it's see yourself in the world with love, speak to yourself in the world with love, and make choices from a calm, centered heart.
Yes.
So the whole peace movement is based on view, voice, and choice, all anchored soundly and beautifully into our heart space. So
that's essential education, really essential. Should be the required course for every student. So we'll get there.
It's always a curiosity, isn't it, that we teach all of these things, except we have these incredible minds that do teach us how to love ourselves, how to give ourselves self-esteem. We have this entire base of knowledge out there that will make our children incredibly resilient, resourceful, curious learners.
Exactly, right.
We find the mechanics of memory as a path to somehow judge or grade them.
Right.
And we don't look at the end result of, which is how capable of this is this person. I'm tripping over my words. How capable is this person of having a whole and happy life directed towards the gifts that they know they can invest in the community around them?
Right. Love
So
it.
it's, it's a hope. So in part of this
Yeah.
piece, right? So one of the books is a wordless book, which I find incredible. Because when we're looking at voice, right? It's not always what we see, or right? It's not always what we say. It's what we also see.
Yes.
And when we see something, put a voice to it. So there is this, this very intricate web of how all of these, and I call them peace powers, right? They're peace skills
Right.
within you. How you see things, what voice you put to them, and the choices
Right.
you make to amplify compassionate change. So this is a wordless book, which is
Okay.
sort of contrary to that. But oddly enough, too, it took home the Parents' Choice Recommended Award, which is a very lovely award, especially since it's wordless. But I'm going to point out, so this is the book. It's called The Brainstorm.
Okay.
I hope you can see it.
Yes. It's beautiful.
And in these pandemic times, but anytime, right, we can wake up and feel this, right? So that alarm has gone off, and there is this scribble.
Yeah, I'm sure we all recognize the scribble. Yes.
And here's the thing, right? We do all recognize it, but we recognize it differently.
Mm-hmm.
So when we use this book for not just, right, littles, I call
Right.
them littles,
Okay.
right, our earliest learners, but when we introduce this book and we flash these images and we allow the adults and then to write down, what is the scribble to you?
Okay.
Right? What is that scribble to you? That becomes a very important question.
Yes.
Because it has us explore what that scribble is. And what you end up seeing, and I'm going to skip to this page that is important, is that scribble is carried, right, affects those around us.
Right.
When we have that, and we know this from our work within our heart space.
Yes.
When your heart is out there, you can touch 8 to 10 feet of people with this compassionate love. The same goes for any other emotion that is amplified within you. It becomes amplified to those around you. So you can see that those spaces get connected by this negative emotion. And so, and I was touching base with you on, the different opinions, right? So one of the ways that this really became very apparent to me was I was dealing with anger issues in this. That's what when I wrote this, it was how do we get rid of our anger?
I see.
So one of the things that was important on this is that sometimes someone will come along, see your anger, and they will attempt to take your anger and tell you how to manage it, right? I got this for you. Let me tell you how to do it. And in my concept, I thought the next page was funny. So
yeah, it is.
it's like, okay, this so totally does not fit
Right.
what it is. But that's when we hand over any portion of our life to someone else, right? We give away our ability to really handle what it is. And so when he takes it off, you start to realize that that scribble is him. Is him. And part of when we teach peace, one of the first gems that we do is the power of ourselves. That first heart gem deals with you are powerful because everything starts and stops with you.
Right.
So when that scribble appears in our life, it started because something we've manifested with it. And we need to look at it.
Yep.
Because you go through this whole day, right? It catches everybody. You try and hide it under a hat, you try and alter it. It still is there unless we learn how to address it.
That's right.
Until we untangle it. So, and I'm so glad that you turned around, right, and said that you were, and I'm fidgeting with trying to get the drawing up. So if you see me looking down, I don't mean to be dismissive. I want to make sure that we can share because I want to create just this little exercise that you
Okay.
can do with yourself. And let's see if we can share the screen. Let's see if technology, right?
Yay!
Technology gurus are going to let us play today, and I'm
Success.
thrilled. So here we've got this blank page, like I said, and you wake up and this scribble appears. And if we were in a classroom together, I would have everyone scribble, right? I would have them scribble. And I actually did a class with 100 teachers. And we sort of did this little booklet of how to do this. So I actually had on the table googly eyes and all sorts of fun elements for
Great.
them to address their scribble,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Sounds
how
like fun. Yeah.
right? But I want, and before I start to draw, I want to sort of explore this, because when you do the actual activity, when you're doing it on paper, and if I'm doing it in front of a class on a large pad of paper, you can hear, right? You hear that,
Right.
right? Wherever you are, you actually hear this scribble coming.
Right.
The person who is scribbling, your hand is tense. It goes up your arm. You feel the physicality of it. You get locked in this tangle of this. So what happens is when you start this scribbling, right? When you start this craziness and you start to do this, when the fatigue gets to the level where you can sit and say, oh, look at this. I can direct the line. I can direct, right? This is coming from me. So now I look in and I start to look. So where is this taking me? And we've got a little bit of a lag. But where is this taking me? So I'm going to look in all different places. I'm going to look over up here. I'm going to wait until the video catches up. So part of this is exploring. There you go. Part of this is exploring. And let's see if it goes. Okay, so our line starts. Maybe I just have to draw a little slower. So part of this is taking this and untangling it and actually directing it to where we're looking. So maybe it's over here, but you know what? Maybe that's not where it ends up. So I'll look a little bit and now I'm more dealing with, okay, so you know what? This initial tension, this initial anger is sort of gone. And I can see that I have to address sort of this discomfort with me, and how can I say this, or how can I look at this differently, or what can I do? And now I start to change how this looks in my life. I can now look at this as, oh, you know what? Here's how I can solve this. I can go ahead and put that up there. And I can go ahead and, oh, look, my scribble is becoming a peace dragon. Right? So the idea is taking your scribble kind of day, taking that scribble emotion, detangling it, and learning how to work with it in power. If you're feeling the stress of something in your life, it's your inside heart alarm going off saying, boop, boop, pay attention. You know what? This is hurting you. This is affecting you. What do you need to do? And one of the things is to sit with it and own it. This is how I'm feeling. Okay. What else do I need to feel? How do I need to go through the emotions I need to feel and anchor in the one that will lead me through this challenge, this event? How can I benefit from my scribbly day and make it into something I can turn around and say, look at this. Right? I can change my scribble into something brilliantly wonderful and fun. And, you know, we have kids do it and have them. I have some great drawings that kids have done. And we put it on a little card and they leave it on their desk so they know that they can change everything into something fun, that they can change everything into something, and not necessarily fun, but useful. I can learn from this scribble.
It's so empowering. You know, we were never taught as kids that we had the power to create our reality. We were just at the mercy of it, basically, and just then had to hide from it or deal with it, or we were punished for it in some way. We were shamed. But this is so uplifting to know that we could start in a place that doesn't feel so great, but we have the power to transform it, transmute it, and create something wonderful from there, because that very thing woke us up to something. Oh, what's going on here? Then we were able to then direct. So that's, well, it's such a powerful teaching, Linda.
In a picture book.
And
Right.
a picture book. Wow.
Picture book. And understanding that sometimes that basic simple idea starts with something as beautiful and simple as a picture book. And that's why we use that as introductory elements to teaching peace, because we can use a picture book, but I can ask you, how do you feel about this scribble, right? What do you think? How do you help your children go through their scribbly days?
That's right.
We can start different conversations on so many different levels from every what would be called picture book text.
Right. So you have many books. Are they all available on Amazon right now?
You know what? Some are and some
or on
aren't.
Your website?
You can certainly reach out to me at the Peace Dragon, and I always try and accommodate.
So peacedragon.com.
ThePeaceDragon.com.
ThePeaceDragon.com, and they will find your books, and
Right.
there will be a lot more there. And if they want to reach you personally, if we have parents there or adults who want to learn more about peace, they can contact you through your website.
And teachers, especially
teachers,
people of all ages. I teach from pre-K4 through adult, right? So we do sessions based upon what aspect of peace you think will benefit your community. And then we tailor the program specifically to that. And on Facebook, we always try, my Facebook page and my personal page are all geared toward positivity, right? It's
yes,
absolutely towards looking at something. And I was going to post, you were talking about the beauty of the day. I live on a lake, and there is so much wind today.
Mm-hmm.
And they released some water because we've had unseasonable amounts of rain that has caused flooding.
Right.
Waves are moving this way, but the caps are breaking reverse.
Oh my.
So the wave will go up and crash this way. So it'll go, and I'm just fascinated by the assumption that something will happen, and then having to look at something again and see all the possibilities. Nothing is ever guaranteed, and the surprises should be so welcome for us that, right, we don't lose our balance when it's like, oh my gosh, is that cool? So tonight I'm going to post the reverse wave and just go.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean, Linda, you're a true artist, a true creator, and you're showing us that each of us is an artist in our own way. We're an artist for our life, certainly, and that we can play around with papers and colors and all of that. And then in our life itself is a palette, and we can bring colors to it in a lot of different ways.
So I'm going to take that statement and let people own it, because you're wearing this incredible pink color. And your hair is done in the way that you feel. Your glasses are, the artistry of putting yourself out there is an art, right? The way that we design our desktops is an art.
Yes.
The way that we talk with our hands.
Right.
There's an art, there's a dance to it, there's a music, the voice, the pitch of our tone, right? In our voice, that is an art form. We are music, we are artists, and we can all create, and here comes that pun, a masterpiece of our life.
That's right. I think that when travel becomes, easier and people are moving about, that would be an amazing retreat to have here over a long weekend. So we look forward to inviting you to offer something like that. That would be amazing. I'd like to go on a retreat like that. So stay tuned, everybody. There will be more. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of our dear Linda. And
maybe we should draw dragons with everyone.
Yeah.
Right? And let them post what gifts their dragons will bring.
Yes, we should have a part 2 and take people through that process. I remember the first time I saw it, it was amazing because you created these very simple shapes that any child could draw. Very simple shapes, but then by the time they were finished, there was a dragon. And they could color it and name it whatever they wanted. They could create their own peace message. And then we did a parade with the children with their dragons. That was just amazing. This was the first peace day after the attacks, I think in 2009. We did this thing.
It was in Nashville at the Southern Festival of Books.
Oh, it was just so inspiring. So, and I know you've gone on over these years to continue that, but I always remembered that. And it's so inspiring for adults as well as children. So I'm happy to share this with all of you, and you can feel free to share it on your pages with your friends. It'll bring a smile to everybody's face, no doubt. And so, Linda, what final words would you like to leave with us?
Go scribble.
Go scribble, yeah. Because you know, I love that, because we could all say, well, yeah, I know how to scribble. If someone said to me, oh, draw and express yourself creatively, I'd say, oh, I don't know how to do that, but go scribble. Yeah, I can scribble. I will scribble today. Yes.
And it's like, oh, I need a bigger head. I do this, you know. Oh, it's too big. Well, I'm going to make everything else bigger, and it just becomes
we can all scribble.
Exponentially.
So let's scribble, and feel free to post your scribbles in our comments box, and Linda can see them, and we could all enjoy them. So what fun. Thank you so much, Linda. So thank you for listening, everybody, and stay tuned for more another time. Bye-bye.